Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up and edit the custom fields, as in the custom questions that you ask customers to complete when they make a booking with you. So the first thing to explain is to show you how it looks when people book. So if I go to, on my demo account, I'll go to this screen here, which is my booking widget. And you can see here the locations that I've got set up. So I'm going to click on the Leisure Centre, and here I've got a juniors class which is set up. If I click on book for that, we've got an extra for a t-shirt. I'll just skip that. Then we have our booking form, and what we're talking about here is how do I determine which questions I ask on this form. And it's important to understand that there are two levels on here. You've got the questions at the top above the cost, and these are the booking level questions. And then underneath we've got the participant level questions, so anything under participant name. And the distinction is that with the questions above, we will ask them once for each booking, but the questions at participant level, we will ask them for every single participant in the booking. So if you're using price bands, for example, to allow people to book on multiple participants to any event or any class, then we will ask the participant level questions for every single attendee, every single participant on that event. So we can set questions at both levels, and we can also make certain questions appear for participants on individual classes or events. I'm going to show you how all these different levels work. So first thing to do, if we're going to edit the company level custom fields, and that means these custom fields or these questions will appear on every single booking type that you run through Book That In. So the first thing we do is we go to business and we go to company settings. And then from here we click edit in the top right hand corner. This opens the company settings wizard, and we want to go through to the third screen on here. And this shows us here what we call the metadata, or the custom fields for the company level. So again, these are the questions that we are going to ask on every single class or event or subscription or appointment that you take bookings for through Book That In. So we have some system fields which you can just tick if you would like them included, and you can make them mandatory, so first name, surname. And all these questions, these would appear at booking level, so these would appear at the top and would be asked once for every booking. And then below that we can add our own questions. So if we go back to my booking form here, you can see we've got child's name, child's date of birth, which is a date field. We've got the name of school or nursery and a drop down to opt into our newsletter and any other info. And if I look on here, I can see that that's exactly what we're showing here. We've got child's name, we've got child's date of birth, name of nursery, and do you opt into our newsletter? And when we want to create these, we create these at the time of creating the company, but we can also edit them as we go. But you can see over here, if they are mandatory, we've got a yes/no toggle for that. For the type of input, we've got a drop down, so we can select the type of question that we're asking here, if it's a drop down or a single line text, for example. We have an option now to archive, so if we no longer want to use a custom field, we can switch that to yes. We'll still see the field here, and we can re-liven it later if we want to. But no new bookings will be asked to complete that field if archive is set to yes. And then we have field level, which is set either to participant or to booking level. And if you remember, the participant level is this area at the bottom, which is asked for every individual participant, and the booking level is asked at the top, and it's asked just once for each booking. So we can set those levels and set them as we would like, and hit save at the bottom to complete. Now you can see here, for example, there's a notes field which I've put as I've archived, so you can't see that when people book. And I've also got this question here which says, I understand I can't cancel or change my booking. And this is a data protection field. So if I scroll to the bottom, we can see here, I understand I can't cancel or change my booking less than 48 hours. When you set data protection to yes, then it will always appear at the bottom as a tick box. So if I go back here again to show you how that's set up, it's this question here. And if I uncheck data protection, it looks much like this, like the others. But if I say data protection, then we can go back, or we can click save on here. And what we've done there is we've edited the company level custom fields. But you might also want to have additional questions for a class or a specific event or a specific appointment. Let's say you run classes for children, but also for pregnant mums. You might want to, for a special pregnancy class, you might want to ask a due date for their baby, which is irrelevant to your other classes you run. So you want to add a specific custom field question to that particular booking type. So we can do that in one of two ways. For classes and events, for group events, we just go to the group overview. And from here, we find the class in questions. Let's say it's this juniors class here. If we click on options, there is a drop down here which says custom fields. And we can add a new field here just for this class. So let's say it was going to be due date. That would be for this one. We can add that in. We can say if it's mandatory or not. And we can say if it's a date picker, if that's what we want. And then we can hit save. Now, anything you add on this page will always be a participant level question. But if you hit save now, then when we go to make that booking again for this juniors class, we can now see that we've got this due date question at the bottom, but it won't appear on any of our other booking types. And that's how you add it to group events. So if you want to edit your custom fields for your other types of bookings, let's say, for example, your subscriptions or your appointments, then you do these by clicking on the appointment option, clicking on it here, and then you can click edit in the top right hand corner. And on the second screen, then on the third screen for appointments, you've got custom fields for that level, for that booking. And that's how they work. If you have any questions, then just let me know.